By 2020, the world of K-pop felt like it had stopped. The industry was drowning in sameness. Every new girl group that debuted came with one of three concepts: girl crush, cute, or retro. Nothing felt fresh anymore. BTS and Blackpink were dominating the global charts, casting massive shadows that made it almost impossible for rookie groups to break through. And then the pandemic hit, making everything 10 times worse. No fan meetings, no concerts, and no way to build that human connection that K-pop thrived on. In the middle of all this chaos, SM Entertainment had been silent for 6 years. 6 years since Red Velvet's debut in 2014. Netizens were getting impatient, wondering if SM had lost their touch. The question everyone was asking: how do you break into an oversaturated market during a global lockdown when every concept has already been done to death? SM's answer came on October 26, 2020, and it was nothing anyone expected. They dropped a cryptic intro video that showed 4 girls standing next to 4 digital avatars that looked exactly like them. Not cartoon characters, not simple animations. Fully rendered AI avatars that moved, danced, and existed in their own virtual universe called Kwangya. This was Aespa, and they weren't just a girl group. They were 8 members, 4 real humans and 4 A members, their AI counterparts living in a digital world. The name Aespa itself was a puzzle. Avatar X experience plus aspect. It meant experiencing a new world through your avatar, breaking down the barrier between reality and the virtual realm. But it went deeper than that. There was a villain called Black Mamba, an entity that threatened the connection between the real members and their AE members. SM wasn't just launching a group. They were building an entire Metaverse storyline, and this was before Mark Zuckerberg ever made the term mainstream. Lee Soo-man, SM's founder, had a vision. The future of entertainment is breaking the barrier between real and virtual, and he was betting everything on 4 girls to prove it. On November 17, 2020, Black Mamba dropped, and the K-pop industry had to reckon with what they were seeing. The music video was unlike anything in K-pop. CGI worlds, digital avatars dancing alongside real members, storylines about sync diving into virtual dimensions. Within the first 24 hours, the video racked up 21.4 million views, completely crushing ITZY's previous debut record of 17.1 million. It didn't stop there. 9 hours after release, Black Mamba hit 10 million views, the fastest any K-pop debut had ever reached that milestone. By January 8, 2021, less than 2 months later, the video crossed 100 million views in just 1 month and 21 days. That made it the fastest debut music video to ever hit that number in K-pop history. On January 17, 2021, Aespa won their first music show trophy on Inkigayo. The gamble was paying off in real time, but netizens were confused as hell. Comment sections filled with questions. What is sync dive? What does flat mean? Why are there 2 Karinas? Some fans loved the innovation, calling it the future of K-pop. Others thought SM had lost their minds, claiming the concept was too complicated and would alienate casual listeners. But the numbers didn't lie. Aespa had arrived, and they'd done it by going all in on the one thing nobody else dared to try. SM didn't ease up. They doubled down. On May 17, 2021, Aespa released Next Level, and this is where things got wild. The song was a remake from the Fast and Furious Hobbs & Shaw soundtrack, an unusual choice that raised eyebrows immediately. But within days of release, Next Level became the most viral K-pop track of 2021. It peaked at number 2 on the Circle Digital chart and the K-pop Hot 100. The Korean general public couldn't stop playing it. The choreography went viral on TikTok. Every variety show was using it as background music. At the 2022 Korean Music Awards, Next Level won Song of the Year, one of the most prestigious daesongs in the industry. Aespa became only the 2nd girl group in history to win that award. They also took home Record of the Year at the 2021 Melon Music Awards and Stage of the Year at the 2021 Asia Artist Awards. But here's the bizarre part. Despite going viral and dominating the charts, Next Level never won a single music show trophy. Not one. The song that defined summer 2021 somehow couldn't secure a music show win, confusing fans and netizens alike. Theories flew around about digital points and tracking, but none of it mattered. Next Level had transcended music shows. It became a cultural moment, the kind of song that people who don't even follow K-pop knew by heart. Then came October 5th, 2021, and Aespa dropped their first mini-album, Savage. This was the moment that cemented everything. The album sold 787,600 copies, making it the best-selling debut physical release by any SM Entertainment act in history. It outsold every other girl group album released in 2021, beating Twice's Taste of Love with 339,737 copies on Hunteo compared to Twice's 339,019. The title track, Savage, earned 8 music show wins, finally giving Aespa the music show dominance that Next Level had somehow missed. The song charted on the Billboard Global 200 and became their first top 40 entry on multiple international charts. Savage also became one of the highest charting K-pop girl group songs on Spotify Global at the time of its release. All of this happened within their first 11 months as a group. 11 months. Most groups spend years trying to reach this level of success, and Aespa had done it before they'd even celebrated their first anniversary. December 2021 rolled around, and award season arrived like a victory lap. Aespa swept Rookie of the Year at every major Korean award show: Melon Music Awards, Mama Awards, Golden Disc Awards, Seoul Music Awards, Circle Chart Music Awards, Korean Music Awards, every single one. But they didn't just win Rookie Awards, they took home 2-day songs within 13 months of debut, something that had never been done before by a rookie group. Record of the Year at the Melon Music Awards for Next Level. Best New Artist at the Mnet Asian Music Awards. At the Golden Disc Awards, they won both the Digital Bonsong and Rookie of the Year. The meta concept that netizens had called too confusing, too complicated, too risky was now dominating every award ceremony in South Korea. Critics who said the AI avatars were a gimmick had gone silent. The Kwangya universe that seemed like nonsense was now the talk of the industry. Aespa didn't slow down. On July 8, 2022, they released their second mini-album, Girls, and it became the best-selling K-pop girl group album in history at the time of release. Their total sales trajectory told the whole story. Near 600,000 copies sold in 2021, then almost 2 million in 2022, then 3.5 million in 2023. The Savage album alone was certified 3 times platinum by the KMCA. Across their entire discography, Aespa sold over 6 million copies in Korea alone. They re-entered the Billboard 200 with Savage, becoming the 4th K-pop girl group to chart for multiple weeks. Every comeback brought new records, new achievements, new milestones that proved the meta concept wasn't just a flash in the pan. It was sustainable, it was scalable, and it was changing how the industry thought about what a girl group could be. But the real achievement wasn't just the numbers. Aespa changed the game itself. Before them, experimental concepts were seen as commercial suicide, especially for rookies. Companies played it safe, debuting groups with proven formulas because the risk was too high. Aespa proved that wrong. They showed that in an oversaturated market, the safest bet is actually the riskiest concept, because that's the only way to stand out. After Aespa's success, other companies started exploring AI members, metaverse storylines, and tech-forward concepts. SM's boy group NCT leaned harder into their own universe. Other agencies began experimenting with AI and digital integration. The floodgates opened. Aespa had normalized what was previously considered too niche, too complicated, too different. They also proved that pandemic-era debuts could thrive by leaning into the digital space rather than fighting against it. While other groups struggled with the lack of physical fan interactions, Aespa built an entire concept around virtual connection. They turned the industry's biggest weakness into their greatest strength. Whether the Kwangya storyline continues or evolves into something else doesn't really matter anymore. Aespa already rewrote the rulebook on what a K-pop debut could be. They didn't just make K-pop go meta. They proved that in an industry terrified of taking risks, the biggest gamble can become the biggest win. And now, every company launching a new group has to ask themselves, are we playing it safe, or are we doing something that will make people stop and pay attention? Aespa made sure that question would haunt the industry for years to come.